Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Soulful Stitcher. Um, my name is Melanie and I would like to welcome you to my cross stitch channel or Flosstube channel, to where this is all about cross stitch. I don't do any other crafting, so this channel is strictly about cross stitch. So if you're new, welcome and thank you for coming by to check me out. And if you're returning, I'd also like to thank you for coming back again. So if you could like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with others, that'd be great. So let's get to, talking about cross stitch. So today is October 1st, which is my favorite month of the year. I love Christmas too, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about fall that I love. Even living here in Florida and not having much of a fall, I still love October. So I'm over on Instagram as the Soulful Stitcher as well. And there are 2 or 3 events that are going to be taking place on Instagram that I would love to share with you guys. So the first one is called Whips Be Gone, and it is hosted by the Devoted Quilter. And it is from October 1st to November 30th. And you stitch for those 2 months and you try to get as many finishes within that time frame as you can get. You can sign up on the link on her profile. And what happens is it'll take you sign up, and then she will send you an email that has all these great printables that you can use for the event. For instance, I printed off the Whips Be Gone project list, and then I also printed off the Whips Be Gone daily tracker, and I did it in the form of yarn balls. So you can get the project list for you to map out your projects, and then you can get the daily tracker. And she gives you some other ones too, but those were the only 2 that I wanted to use. Then next up, we have by Athena X Stitches. We have 13 stitches of Halloween, and it begins October 1st and it ends October 13th. And the main factor is the number 13. So you can stitch on one project for 13 days. You can stitch on multiple projects for 13 minutes, or you can do, 13 whips for 13 days, or you can do 13 new starts, or you can do a mixture. So the main focus is the number 13. And then Cozy Egg, Michelle, and Eclectic Possessions, Emily C., they also have Darktober stitching for the month of October, which you can just stitch anything Halloween or macabre for the month. And they also, on a regular basis, on the 13th of every month, regardless what month of the year it is, they do Darktober stitching too. So those are 3 great events to check out. Do one, do them all. So for me, I'll get into my projects in just a little bit about what I'm going to do. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Year of WIPs. I have been on Flosstube since 2013. I previously had another channel because you won't see as many videos on this channel. But I got a wild hair up my butt. Not that anybody did anything wrong or I had any type of drama or anything like that. I just got a wild hair and really wasn't feeling it, and I had deleted my channel. And then, of course, the feeling came back after watching other people's floss tubes and, getting out of that funk or whatever. I decided I wanted to do it again, so I created a new channel. So that's why you won't see all my previous videos on there. On this channel. But I've been doing Flosstube since 2013, and I want to say maybe 2015 I came up with the concept, the Year of WIPs. And the purpose of the Year of WIPs was because, um, like many of us, we have so many WIPs, we get so many starts, we add so many new things that sometimes our WIPs get neglected. And so I wanted to create an event that would help us focus on those WIPs and not forget them. But I did it the wrong way. I made it too complicated. It was stressful because during this time, I was really at the height of stitching. So I was really enthusiastic and really go hard. And I wanted to do like 40 WIPs and, just a crazy amount of WIPs. And when I stopped doing the Year of WIPs, maybe a couple years back, I was wondering why it wasn't successful. Like, why did it start off so hot? Everybody was gung-ho, but why didn't we keep steam? And I think it was because it was overkill. It was overzealous. So what I'm doing now is I'm just basically coming back with the Year of WIPs, but it's going to be flexible. Do it how you want to do it. I'll give you a base, but it's pretty much take it and do what you want with it, because that's how I'm finding WIP Go is successful. AB Singo, Baringo. I mean, all of these other events people are so hyped up about in the beginning, but they stay hyped up about them because I've found that they're flexible. There's no stress to them. They're open-ended. People can take them and do what they want. So I want to do the same thing. Because the Year of WIPs really was my baby, but like I said, it just started off really hot. Everybody was gung-ho, and then it just kind of died. Maybe it died because I kind of, fell off and didn't really hold any or interest in it. Therefore, other people didn't stay interested in it, but it's back. So basically, the premise of the whole thing is this. The base number of projects is 6. You choose 6 projects for the year. To qualify for the drawing, you have to complete 3 finishes for the year. That's it. And I'm not talking about fully finishes. I'm talking about just the stitching. If you see a little gnat fly by, just ignore it. I'm sorry if it's a pain. So the base of the projects for the year is 6, and you have to do 3 finishes to qualify for the drawing, for the prize. You can choose to do more if you want, but just 6 to qualify, 3 finishes. The event will run from January 18th to December 18th. So January 18th is my birthday, so it'll start on my birthday and it'll end on December 18th. And once it ends, I will give you a certain number of days to, get your photo album completed and all that. Because you have to have a beginning set of photos, and then you have to take photos at the end of what you completed for the year. Yes, of course, if you get to a lull or a stall and you're not feeling a certain project or whatever, you're more than welcome to switch it out. Just make sure you have a beginning and end photo, because at the end of the event, I will go and check the photos for the people who qualify for the drawing to make sure they really do qualify, and then I will do a drawing. And it also gives me some time to figure out how to do the random number generator for YouTube, the comment generator, because I don't know how to do that. I haven't really looked into it. So you want to create a photo album in the beginning that has beginning pictures of showing your progress of when you started. And then in December 18th, you want to have photos showing of what your progress was when you ended. And again, kind of like AB Singo, I will give you a certain amount of time to get those photo album completed, because I do realize, first of all, December is Christmas time. It's a hectic time, and you know, so I don't want to make it stressful for people. We're trying to get away from that. And then as the time goes on, I will do some bonus things, just to kind of ante it up a little bit. But for right now, we're just going to stick with the basic. And I'll go over them again just in case. The basic for the event is you have to choose at least 6 projects. And to qualify for the drawing, you have to have 3 of those projects finished. And you have 1 year to do it. You have from January 18th to December 18th to do it. That's it. That's all. And of course, you have to have a photo album showing your beginning progress. And at the end of the year, you have to have photos showing the end of your progress. That's it. Nothing, easy peasy, nothing more than that. So what I thought was, my birthday is on the 18th. So I thought what I would do is I'm going to choose 18 projects for the Year of WIPs, and I'm going to complete 9. I don't qualify for the drawing, so it doesn't matter. But I'm determined in 2023 to get some of these WIPs knocked out. Like, I've been carrying them for years, and it's time to really get some finishes. And the cool thing is, I know that Baringo and other people are going to be creating events and sales and stuff, and that's going to help me use those 18 WIPs as part of that, to get them finished. And that's not saying that I won't buy anything new or that I won't have any new starts, but my main focus is going to be those 18 WIPs, which I have not chose yet. But when it gets close to the time, I will do a video specifically on the Year of WIPs and show you what my projects are going to be. But I do know I'm choosing 18 of them, and I'm going to have 9 finishes next year, if not more. Okay. So, as I was talking and throwing in there, I talked a little bit about AB Singo. And if you don't know what AB Singo was or is, it is an event that is created by Carolyn for Seazook Stitches, or Seazook Stitch, and then her friend Robin, which is Bird Eye Stitcher. And they basically take a bingo board of 25 squares. You fill it in with the letter of the alphabet, but they will exclude one letter. And this year, the letter H was excluded. And what you did was, they called the letter every single day. You had to take the letters of the alphabet, and you had to take projects of yours and make those projects fit with the letter of the alphabet. It was so much fun. Like, I literally stitched every single day to where I got a blackout on the bingo board. And that's the other thing. You qualify for a drawing if you have your photo album done, before pictures, after pictures, and you get some bingos, like 5 straight down, across, diagonal, however. And so it was a lot of fun. If you didn't do it this year, I really recommend you get ready for Baringo in January, which is sort of the same thing, but I don't want to speak on it because I don't know all the details. I just know it's sort of the same thing, but you can get ready to do it in September, AB Singo, of September of next year. It is so much fun. I'm so glad she came up with it. And the reason why I enjoyed it is because it was so flexible, meaning they cut off the ending of AB Singo ended on the 25th, but they still gave you 5 days to catch up any projects that you missed, get any of your pictures in, those that type of thing. And so, you know, looking at AB Singo, that's where I saw in other people's events too, where I was lacking in my own event and how to make it more eventful and more exciting this time around. Because I tell you, if AB Single had been rigid and stiff, I probably wouldn't have stuck to it. But since it was loose, and Carolyn and Robin basically were like, look, take the letters of the alphabet and make them fit how you want them to fit. It will still count, you know. So it was a great, and hoping I win. We'll see. I believe that they did the drawing either yesterday or today, and I'm sure they'll announce the name. But let me show you some of the projects that I worked on during AB Singo and the progress that I got on them and how it made me successful with some of my whips. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get my project board so I can show you some of my whips. Okay, and they're not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to go down the list and show you what I worked on. All right, so first up, the project that I worked on was just a little Halloween pattern. And this was for the letter D. And it was called Do Come In. And I did it on 28 count even weave oatmeal, and I just got this far. But the whole purpose of it was, you know, if it hadn't have been for AB Singo, I wouldn't have picked up these whips at all. And I wouldn't have gotten as much done on them that I had. And then also there were some that were just lingering out there that I actually felt my passion reignite to want to stitch. So when I get finished this video, I'm going to pull some of those and start working on them and making a dent, because I'm determined in 2023 to have 9 finishes. I'm determined. So the next that I worked up on, and this was for the letter A, and it was Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Let me make sure I got that right. Yes. Primrose Cottage Stitches. Autumn Rules. And I just got their PDF version. Hey, did you know? I'm sure you know. But their Expo releases are now in PDF version. And I'm getting the Apothecary one. Oh, I've been wanting that bad boy. So this is where I got for Autumn Rules. Now, the reason why I didn't get as far as I did is because I had to go back. I had to go back and frog all of this out because my viewers, you guys, pointed out to me that I had spelled autumn wrong. So I had to go back and pull that out and fix that. So that's where I got with that one. And the cool thing is, now that it's October, you know, autumn time, that'll be one that I pick back up and work on. So the next one that I worked on was Baby It's Cold Outside for the letter B. And that is Heartstring Samplery. And this is what it looks like. And this is as far as I got on it. Okay. This is where I got. I got to the words and I'm still working on that border. Now, I was watching Sarah Stitchy Spot. If you have not, which I'm sure you have, because all of the big channels have talked about her, seen her, you need to watch her. She is amazing and her work is amazing. She did a piece by Nora Corbett, Mirabilia, one of the two. She did it on a 14 count piece of Ada, and it is magnificent looking. You would think, I know for me, with the specialty stitches, the fractional stitches and stuff, that you couldn't do it on Ada, but she did this on Ada and had it framed, and it is beautiful. But she also talked about thinking about Baby It's Cold Outside, and the border is where I'm going with this. She also talked about doing the borders on projects. You know, when you get into doing borders, it can be monotonous, it can be dreading, dull, all of those things. But she talked about doing the border as you go along, instead of either stitching on the whole thing in the beginning, not waiting till the end. Or I guess you could wait until the end if you're very methodical with where you plant your stitches at the centerpiece of it. But, and for some reason, that never registered with me. I know that sounds crazy, like, duh, Melanie, that's so simple. But no, it never registered with me, or I never thought about doing the border as I go along, because I just got in the mindset of doing the border, completing the border before I worked on anything else. And I was thinking, like, you know, because there are some pieces that I have been avoiding because I don't want to fool with the border. And so, thinking about it from her perspective, it's like, yeah, that'll make it easier for me, or that'll make me want to do it. Instead of doing all these big flowers in one gust, I can do a couple flowers, work on something else, come back and do some more flowers or whatever. So, I know that might sound crazy, like, you didn't think of that? Nope, I did not. I did not think of that. Okay. So the letter E, I worked on Engraver's Chart by Liz Matthews. And this is what it looks like. And I'm sorry, guys, I totally forgot to tell you the fabric and stuff that I'm using. So I'm using 32 count vintage Sahara. And this is where I got on this one. I was dreading this one, dude. I really was. I did not want to work on it whatsoever. So that's as far as I got. I just literally, for that particular one, I did the hour and was happy when the hour was up and put that bad boy away. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm dreading it, or was dreading it, or whatever. But I sure did. I did not give that one any extra time. And I don't know when I'm going to pick it up again, to be honest. Okay, next up. What is this? Oh, this one was the letter J, and it is Jingle All the Way by Little House Needleworks, and this is what it looks like. And I'm using all the call for threads, and I'm using a 32 count. I don't have the tag in my bag anymore. I think I'm using a 32 count Lugana lamb's wool for this. Okay. And this is where it's at. My fan is blowing, so if you hear that, there you go. And I really was enjoying that one. I gave that one a lot more time. Okay. Next up was the letter G, and it was for Glitter's Village. And the cool thing is, I got cottage number 1 done, or house number 1. No, I didn't. I see something that I missed. So here is number 1. It is called Glitter House number 1. So I got house number 1 almost completed. But this is the thing. So I'm missing some color right in here. And I'm doing this on 32 count opalescent Belfast raw silver. But this is the thing. This fabric is very hard to see and very hard to stitch on. So I'm thinking that I may buy a piece of 18 count opalescent fabric because it will be much easier to see. I will still have the sparkly background and everything. But as you can see, I'm almost finished house number 1. And so that means that if I do change the fabric, I have to go back and restitch that all over again. And guys, this has taken me like a year or so just to get house number 1 done. So if I have to restitch it, will I really put the energy into it that I need to? I don't know. But I just know that fabric is very difficult to stitch on. It's very difficult. Now, this one was for letter I. And this one is called It's Halloween by Foxwood Crossing. And I'm doing this on a piece of 18 count Aida, hand dyed by myself, by me. Excuse me, not by myself, but by me. And this is where I'm at. And I need to just hurry up and get this finished. This is literally almost done. And I need to hurry up and get this done. Which I'm going to make this my October piece that I get finished. And this is where I'm at. And I really need to stop playing around. Because that one has been probably languishing for 2 years. Like, we've already talked about this. That I'm not a finisher by any means. If you're looking for finishes, I'm not the channel, honey. I am strictly a process stitcher. Yeah, see, I got a little card in here. I started this in 2017. And you see how small that pattern was. But I was just, I don't know. There for a while, I was just in a really dark phase or something, and really wasn't feeling stitching and wasn't stitching and stuff. And it's like, now that I have come out of that, it's like, how could I shun my stitching? Like, what was really going on with you, girl? Stitching is so much fun. I love it. I enjoy it. Okay. So next up, the pattern is coming out of this book, Honeysuckle Manor. And it is Margaret Harris, 1877. And this is what it looks like. And this is one of those ones that has been languishing because I have not wanted to stitch this border. These big flowers, they are just so not appealing to me. I know you're not supposed to diss Blackbird, and I'm not. But I'm telling you, that border, it's not happening for me. But I'm going to do, that's the one that I was thinking about. Well, if you break it up and do it as you go along, it won't be so bad. So I'm doing this, I think, on a piece of 46 count raw, because the stitches are very, very small. And this is where I'm at. See, I'm dreading that border. Haven't really did too much on it. Yep. And I'm using all the called for threads, which is Belsois silks. Okay. Next up was Lantern Lane for the letter L. Oh, and Margaret Harris was the letter M. And this was the letter L for Lantern Lane. And I'm doing this on a piece of 40 count lamb's wool. I'm using all of the called for Belsois silks. And this is where I got down to the fence. Did a little bit of the tree too, but mainly it was the fence. That's another one that has been languishing. Let's see, when did I start? I started that in 2016. That's what I'm saying. I got to get on the horn. And no one is pressuring me, or no one is bothering me, or, you know, my wife, she's not, you know, giving me a hard time or anything about not finishing and buying new stuff. So it's me. I'm pressuring myself because I'm saying that this is crazy and you need to get these done. Especially ones that have been hanging out since 2015, 16. It's like, come on, Melanie. All right. Next one is by Soda Stitch, and this was for the letter K. Korean traditional household items, but I call it Korean man because there's two of them. Korean traditional household items for men, and then there's a Korean traditional household items for women. So I just call this Korean man. Oh, I was shaking the pattern just so you can see it again. And I'm doing this on 40 count lamb's wool, and I'm using all of the called for DMC. And this is another one that's been hanging out since like 2016. All right, and this is where I'm at. I got this almost, you know, completed. Worked on the hat, finishing that up, and now I'm working on the lantern down here. Okay, let's see here. Then we had the letter N And this was Little House Needleworks, Little House Neighborhood. And this is what this pattern looks like. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave Lugana Irish linens. And this is where I'm working on the woman, which is going to be an African American woman. So I have to adjust some of the colors. But yeah, this is where I got. And I'm using all the called for DMC. And then the letter O for One Nation by Bygone Stitches. And I'm using 40 count Country Vintage Mocha. And then I'm using Anchor White Thread, Louisiana Hot Sauce by Weeks Dye Works. And then I'm using Navy by Weeks Dye Works. And this is where I have gotten with this. Now this one doesn't really look like an hour-long progress either, because I had to frog and then go back and do it again. So I didn't really get that far. I got the first band completed and then some of the white to start the second band up underneath of here. But I had to frog because I made a mistake not paying attention. You know how sometimes that mindless stitching and you're not really paying attention because you don't have to count. It's just, well, the stitches, I went in the wrong hole, and because I did that, it was making the stitches look weird and off and stuff. So I had to go back and fix all of the stitches. It was ridiculous, but it's fixed. Okay, next up was for letter F. And this was Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha with all of the called for. And I'm almost done. All I have to do is fill in this sign right here and back stitch farm stand. And you know what? See? I'm so glad I caught this. Only have 3 little stitches that I have to take out because it's supposed to be brown filled in, not white. Did y'all see that well enough? I made my little lady the black woman. And I'm just using all the call for threads. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Okay. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to abandon this one or not. Because I'm just not feeling it, dude. I really am not. This is my Queen of Hearts. And this was for the letter... No. This was letter R for Red Queen. And this is what she looks like. Owl Forest embroidery. And I don't know if I'm going to continue this one. And this is how far I've gotten. I still have to do the motif over on this side. Um, and some little, I'm not sure what you want to call them, just some stitches. That's what you call it, right? Just some stitches in here, you know, just to make his whiskers or whatever it's supposed to be. But I'm just not feeling that one, and I seriously think I'm going to abandon it. But this is the thing about me and abandoning projects. I do not throw them away, and I do not give them away, because the way my brain works is I'm not feeling something right now, but it doesn't mean a year or two down the road something won't smack me upside the head or kick me in the butt, and all of a sudden I'll want to feel like doing that project again. I've given it away or thrown it in the trash, and now I don't have it. So that's why all of these projects, I keep them all, even if I'm not working on them. Letter, this was for the letter V, and this was Song of the Seasons. Violin, violin equals music, music, Song of the Seasons. And this is a mystery sampler, but I'm using all of the called for week's die works. And this is where I am at. So I just got this section here, and to finish this right here. And then I will be completely done. And that's another one. 2015, 2016. Okay. Oh, this one was for the letter W, Winter Rose Manor. And this is what this looks like. And this is where I am at. And I'm doing this on a piece of mystery count linen. I think it's like 46 count, I believe. Just how small it is. And for this one, what did I work on? Oh, I worked on the flower pot on the fence. But that's where I'm at. Okay, let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, this is another one I think I'm going to abandon. Only because I do not like the fabric, and I need to do another fabric choice. But I just don't feel like it right now. I'm not in the mood to do a lot of beading. And this is Baker's Wife by Mirabilia. This was gifted to me, so I definitely wouldn't give it away or, you know, trash it or anything like that, which I'm not going to do that to any of my patterns. But just this is a crunchy piece of fabric. I tried to wash it to loosen it up a little bit, and it just didn't do it. So I worked on the flowers in her hair right there, beading, and a little bit of beading here. So the fabric is too crunchy. So I think I'm gonna cut the beads out and then get a new piece of fabric. Maybe just go ahead and purchase the fabric that they called for. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, summer baskets, because they look like quilt blocks. I used it for quilt blocks. And this is by Scissortail Designs. And this is what it looks like. And this is where I'm at. And I'm using all of the called for threads, which are Gentle Arts. Okay. Next up was Cinnamon Stars, and that one was the letter X for just simply X Stitch. And Cinnamon Stars is by Plum Street Samplers. You guys have seen this. I'm doing the DMC conversion, and this is what it looks like. And this is where I'm at. I tried to tackle part of the fence on this. And that's where I'm at. And I'm doing this on a piece of Color and Cotton Love Letter Lugana 32 count. All right. And this next one was for the letter T. It was for time period. And I'm doing it on a piece of 2020 Fabric Club for the month of July. Pear Wood by Color and Cotton. I'm using all of the called for threads. And it is Anne of Green Gables by JBW Designs. And this is where I've gotten. Working on that border. And that's another one that was kind of like, ugh, because of the border. But now I know what to do to break it up, so. This one was for the letter Y for yellow. And this was for the Pride and Prejudice mystery stitch along. At one point it was a mystery. This one was 2019 I started this. And I'm stitching it 1/1 on 28 count even weave that I hand dyed myself. And I had messed up on this like so many times, this hexagon here, to where I finally pulled it out again. I did not restitch that part yet, but I went in and filled in the inside so I could stitch the other side without hopefully messing up. Because the problem with this fabric is stitching it 1/1, if you keep pulling it out, one, the dye lot of the thread gets on the fabric, and then two, it makes the fabric look distorted and funny looking. So I have to be careful, and I have pulled this out probably 4 times already. And everybody knows 1/1 stitching is not easy. It's easy, but it's not easy. Frogging it is not easy. Stitching it is easy. Then for the letter S, I did Snow Village by Little House Needleworks, or excuse me, Country Cottage. And I finished the first one, which is Snowflake Stand. No. Yes. Snowflake Stand is number 1. And I finished that, and now I'm working on number 2, which is the Peppermint Parlor. And I'll show you that in a second. But this is where I got on this. Peppermint Parlor looks like that. And I'm doing that on a piece of 16 count Misty Blue. Yeah, because it calls for Country French Rain and they didn't have it. So I got a piece of 16 count Misty Blue. Now last, if I can find it, and I don't think I can. I don't see it up here. Nope, it's not up here, guys. The last one, wait a minute, let me see. Oh, I got it. I'm sorry I'm in your face like that. Okay, so the last one was the letter Z. And it is Through the Years Zodiac sampler. I always feel so special when you get these and they put your name on the side. For exclusive use of Melanie Watkins. I love that. And this is where I got with this one. I started working on January, the goat, I believe. So that's that one. Or maybe, I don't remember which one it is. I don't know. So those were all of my projects that I worked on for AB Singo. I might have missed one or two on here. I know I didn't miss stitching any, but I don't think I did. I think I showed you guys all of them. Now, I'll just show you a little bit of haul that I got. So, the first thing that I got was a box of these scissors. And they're very sharp and they're very good. And they were not expensive at all. And I got them so I can drop them in individual bags of mine so I don't have to worry about having scissors. Next thing I got was the infamous Halloween Tiny Town. The only thing I need to do is get the threads to kit it up and the fabric, and I'll be ready to go. But this is going to be a next year start. Sorry to wobble the camera. That's going to be a next year start. There's so many people that have stitched it this year that you guys have seen it, been there, done it. You know, you don't need to see it again. So I'm just going to wait until next year. Then I got this Little House Needleworks Peace on Earth, all the call for threads. give me a good house. I love house stitching. And then I got the Red Letter Day by Teresa Vinette Kitten Stitcher. And I have decided which project I'm going to do, but I'm going to wait to show you guys that at a later date. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk to you guys about those events. Year of WIPs, wanted to show you what I worked on AB Singo for the whole month of September. There was not a day in the month of September that I did not stitch, and I'm so happy that Stella got her groove back, and I'm ready to stitch all the things and get some finishes. So next up, probably in December, you will see an update video, and you will also learn about my Year of WIP choices and pieces that I can use for other events that'll pop up next year. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. It was awesome talking to you. I hope you're doing wonderful. And, God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.